So it will be necessary periodically to clean the filter that is in place prior to the material entering the hose. This is a mesh filter that is reusable and is located right behind this fitting. Before you start, before you change out the filter or clean it, you need to make sure the machine is fully up to temperature and your pump is turned off. It's critical that the pump is turned off, because if it is not, once you open up this circuit, you will get flooded with hot material. So some tools you may need to take out the filter is an adjustable wrench or an 1 1/4" socket, an 11/16 wrench, needle nose, a brass or wire brush, and all the proper PPE. It's important to wear all the proper PPE, safety glasses, face shield, leather gloves, full sleeves, etc. when doing this. Typically, you can back flush the filter once a day, or depending on the amount of material you're using, you may need to back flush it a couple of times a day. We recommend back flushing once per every bucket of material you use. This is to take the contamination from around the outside of the mesh filter and dumping it out through this purge valve. If you back flush, you need to do that with the pump turned on, and we can do instructions on that at a later date. But if the back flushing is not working and you're having limited flow to your gun, it may be necessary to clean out the filter or replace it. So now that the machine is up to temperature, our pump is turned off, we will show you how to remove the fittings and clean the filter. First, we're going to take off this fitting that is on the back side of the fitting going to hold the filter in. We'll move the hose out of the way. Now we'll use an 1 1/4" socket to remove the O-ring boss fitting that's holding the filter in place. Next, using needle nose pliers, you will reach in and remove the mesh filter from the valve body. In this case, there's not much contamination buildup on the outside of the screen, but we will still remove any material present on the outside of that screen to make sure we clean off any contamination. On the back side of the filter, there's a spring and a piece of metal that hold the pressure of to hold the filter against the fitting. That did not come out when we removed the filter, so we use a small needle nose to reach back in there and grab it so we can reseat it on the filter assembly before we install. As you can see here, there's a metal piece that inserts on the end of the filter, and then a spring that applies pressure against that filter. Once that is reassembled, the outside of our filter is cleaned off. You can reinstall this into the valve block. There's an O-ring on this fitting that you want to make sure is in good condition before you reinstall it. These are heat resistant Viton O-rings if you need to replace one. There's no need to over tighten this fitting back. It's an O-ring seal. We will reinstall the hose fitting back onto that and tighten. Now we're ready to turn the machine back on and continue spraying.